I take with me from the last talk is that we need to look in every corner if we're looking for an investment. And we have to make sure that we make human intelligence work with artificial intelligence. And most importantly, we have to stay agile. And this is what we're going to do in this talk, because we will have two speakers that will join us from their home offices, as they could not make it to come here. But as we have a fantastic technical team, I'm sure this will work very well. We're going to talk now about how we can move from prevention in a way to real treatments, while still putting the patients in the center from every step we take, from prevention until the final treatment. And we have two moderators on this one. We have Anaïs Le CORVEC and we have Alain HERRERA, who will lead the conversation with one person on stage and two people from home. I'll leave you the stage.
Need to do it? No. Technology works wonderfully. Welcome, everyone. We're going to talk about prevention to treatment together with patients. So, as you just said, patients in the center, but I hope by the end of the session, we all think patient all along the way, so not just in the center. And I will leave Alain HERRERA to introduce a little bit the session, where it comes from, for those who don't know that we also have Health Tech for Patient in May, and that's what we're going to come in together. So, Alain, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anaïs. So the title of this roundtable, as highlighted by Anaïs, is From Prevention to Treatment, Together with Patient. And as already mentioned, it refers to the third edition of the Health Tech for Patient, which took place in May this year, and which was dedicated to non-communicable diseases. So, what is HTFP? Because I think that at least some of you are not aware about this second annual meeting organized by Health Tech for Care. HTFP is a European dimension event which aims to bring together all the players involved in the medical innovation value chain to accelerate the deployment of the innovative solution for all the patients. And definitively, it's patient-centered, or it's with patient along the way, as mentioned by Anaïs, and we establish the program according to the topics which are chosen by the patient and the patient representative we are working with. And this year we had two roundtables, one which focused on non-communicable diseases, from prevention to treatment, and the second one which was having a more precise focus, because it was on cardiac diseases and trying to define the better care for the patients. So more than 380 people registered from 31 countries, so it's obviously it's a European event, but more than European, and we welcome 15 speakers. So I moderated the first roundtable, and my co-chair Anaïs the second one. So regarding the first roundtable, it was opened by Mr. John Ryan from the European Commission, and we had 3 speakers participating, and 2 of them are with us today. Cristina and Mia, who will be online, but who cannot join us physically. And Also, we had an introduction from Marie-Vonne Jans, the president of Health Tech for Care, and Marie-Vonne highlighted the burden of non-communicable diseases because this type of diseases, they are responsible for 41 million deaths each year, which is the equivalent of 74 of all deaths globally. Also, she put a special emphasis on cardiovascular diseases, which account for most of these deaths, around 18 million per year. So, John Ryan then introduced the roundtable, and John Ryan is Acting Deputy General Director and Director of Public Health, Health and Food Safety Directorate General at the European Commission. He spoke about the general approach of the European Commission to non-communicable diseases, the European Cancer Plan, and the forthcoming initiative on mental health. And he explained how the Commission is working with the Member States. They are asking the Member States to define the relevant best practices they want to develop during the year. And this is the basis for setting up the annual plan and the way of funding and privileging these best practices. Finally, I would like to spend 1 minute on the third intervention on top of the one of Mia and Cristina. We welcome also Linas Dabashin-Kash, who is the Medical Director, Hypertension and Dyslipidemia at the Global Medical and Patient Affairs at Servier. And importantly, he highlighted the major impact, and I think we will be back to this today, the major impact of the low adherence on effectiveness of therapies, the interest of developing single pill combination to ameliorate, to improve the situation, and the need for multiple stakeholders' patient collaboration, and evidently including and putting all along the way the patients. So I will now ask Anaïs to give an introduction about the second roundtable she moderated during HTFP.
Thank you very much, Alain. I will try to be quick because I really want to give the floor to our three speakers so they explain a little bit more what they are doing, and this way we can engage also with you, the audience, about engage with the audience about engaging patients, just to be redundant. So in any case, in my roundtable, we're 6 participants. We talk concretely about cardiac diseases from different points of view, from a company side. I think Eli Gobel is in the room, maybe not here, but otherwise there, so you can talk to him also about his experience. But basically just making sure that in every step of the way, from the patient organization to the company that is developing whatever device or technology related to health, to make sure that patient engaged along the way. So each brought their own, let's say, perspective on how to engage, the difficulties to engage patients, because it's not always easy. But this is also why you have patient organization, for example, that can be very supportful and helpful. So I don't want to talk too much. And as I said previously, we just looking at the picture that I see just in front of me, yes, the haircut is changing, but not just aesthetically. It's a patient journey I've been taking with HTID every year now, progressing out of being a patient. So I like to see that, and I think it's important to remind you, all of you being companies, researchers, institution, that patients are not just at the end of all of this, but we can all be patient, and we should take patient along the way, because it actually will help you develop your product and make sure that it's actually accepted, adapted, and so on and so forth. So I stop here, and maybe I can just ask Mia. She's online. We ask all of you to talk about 3-4 minutes to just explain. We can start with Mia about what you're doing at IDF, and yeah, the work that you're doing and how it engage with this wonderful event. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today and to be discussing this very important but very colorful topic. So hi, my name is Mia. I'm the project coordinator at IDF Europe, so it's the International Diabetes Federation, the region of Europe. I work with, my main focus at work is EU-funded projects, clinical-based and patient-oriented EU-funded projects, to be more specific. You can find out more regarding the EU-funded projects on our website, but to keep a very long story short, we really emphasize the patient voice at IDF Europe and our patient engagement activities. Not only that, IDF Europe is an umbrella organization of 73 association members in Europe from more than 40 different countries. So we have a wide range of ethnicities and cultural backgrounds, both ranging from a patient point of view and a clinician's point of view. I also have a medical background, I have a medical education, and I've worked as a volunteer at the town that I'm from. I'm actually from Croatia, so not too far away from home, but also close enough. So what we basically do at IDF Europe is really giving the patient their voice, but having all the necessary tools and the education and the information that is up to date. And the power is in education, the power is in understanding, and a good patient that is well educated and understands their conditions can then later on decide for themselves what, along with their physician and their medical team, what the best treatment option is going to be regarding their lifestyle, what they expect from the treatment, and what their hopes and dreams are. So a little bit about IDF Europe, but you have my contact information, and I'm happy to further discuss if any of you want to discuss more relating to IDF Europe. So that's all for me.
Thank you so much. Maybe I can pass on to Cristina, if you want to introduce yourself and the work you do. Very essential too.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Cristina NICULESCU. I'm a life science specialist at the European Investment Bank. And I think that although my colleague Dana Burduja presented in previous discussion, the EIB, please kindly allow me to remind you, the European Investment Bank. The European Investment Bank is the largest multilateral development bank in the world. Is investing in different areas, and health, innovation, development, and digital is one of our pillars of investment. Coming concretely to the life science and development innovation in the area of life science, since 2015, the bank, with the support of the member states and the European Commission, created different mandates to support innovative companies across Europe and even beyond, with, again, let's say a full spectrum of disease areas, and from tools in prevention, detection, diagnosis, biomarkers, or till vaccinations, till treatments. And since that day, 2015, we consolidated a portfolio which is around 3 billion of investments in those companies. As expressed in our previous panel, I'm here also to share how we perceive our portfolios, companies in the due diligence process from a patient perspective, but also to learn from different panels and from different participants how we can do more or even better to better understand their needs beyond what the portfolio companies can bring to us. So coming more concretely on concrete basis, we heard some discussion that maybe our process is long, but I would like to emphasize again that we take into consideration not only the technical and let's say financial viabilities of the project, but we like to understand exactly beyond this aspects what are the let's say social and even sometimes environmental engagements of our promoters. And concretely, on concrete basis, we know that many drugs or some drugs arrive on the market without bringing so much value to patients, and the commercial uptake might be not so good. So understanding the patient needs beyond company and beyond the company development is of uttermost importance to our process. Hence, during let's say the appraisal process of all our portfolio companies, would like to engage and to see their engagement with both clinicians, key opinion leaders. We also engage with them because they connect the patients with a company development. They bring these insights and hence increase the probability of success of their development and of our investment at the end. We also want to see how soon they engage with patient associations and to see how deep and how strong this relation is over time. And this investment has to have let's say a 360-degree approach in those aspects. Again, of course, we've spoken about European Beating Cancer Plan. Again, coming back concretely, as we apply the European policies also in our investment, we saw that the Commission perceived this European Beating Cancer Plan across all areas, from diagnostics to treatment, but also beyond treatment when patients get cured or get out of the treatment, how well socially they integrate, how they can access to different banks or financial institutions which have been banned. So we want also in our investment that these products that we support through our investment can help patients and have a real impact beyond let's say the clinical benefit that we are bringing to them. So
it's a good intro.
For us today is the things that I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you. Good intro. I will look for those financial products myself, because it's true that it's difficult when you're a patient and when you come out. Last but not least, maybe I introduce and then we will have a time for discussion. So Meritxell TEIXIDO, she's the CEO, I believe, co-founder of Gate to Brain, a very successful startup in Barcelona. So Meritxell, if you take your 3-4 minutes to explain to us what you do and why you're here today with us in this session.
Thanks, Anaïs. Can you hear me well? I hope so. First of all, it's a pity that I'm not in Paris, and it's an honor to be together with Alain, with Mia, Cristina, and yourself. Yes, as Alain said, I'm CEO and co-founder of Gate to Brain, that is a small biotech that was born in July 2020 here in Barcelona. We have a technology that helps drugs to reach the brain. is shuttles to the brain. But then we can use this technology for many indications where there's a drug candidate that needs a better transport to the brain. But we decided that our first mission, I always say the first mission of the technology, is to bring to the brain a chemotherapeutic agent to fight against, or to beat, I love instead of fight, to beat cancer in the case of pediatric brain tumors. For me, some of the challenges were like, and we will discuss it later, like how needs a biotech, a small biotech, to have patients enroll from the very beginning. You are a very small company, but I think it's crucial. But what happens when these patients or families are kids, and how you enroll them, how you make it, I will say, how you make it elegant and honest, this enrollment. And we decided to enroll it from the very beginning at different levels. In the advisory board, this is one thing, but we need to talk to them of how they imagine our treatment, how they imagine what things are red lines for them, but also there are many other ways that they can help us in this process. Why are small companies get to bring focus in this type of patients? For me, it's just a sentence, it represents 25% of our present, but it's 100% of our future. And the medicines for kids need to be developed for kids. That's why we have enrolled also in the initiative like Innovation for Kids, which in fact I will be in Warsaw this Friday in a pitch event for pediatric innovation. Because we will all agree probably that if you focus a solution for pediatrics, in the case of brain tumors, it could be easily scaled up or expanded to other tumors, including adults, and nobody can imagine that a medicine for kids is not acceptable for an adult. But the opposite, a kid is not a quarter of a pill of an adult. So this has been a very nice journey of 3 years, and one of the things we decided is that you need money for that. So we decided to go for initial funding here nationally, and then we jumped to the European through the AC Accelerator program that we gained last year, and then we keep going on that direction, finding family offices, VCs, or funds that want to invest in this project. Thanks, Anaïs.
No, thank you very much. So for the VCs or family office in the room, don't hesitate to take a...
I can put my name on the screen? No, a joke.
Yeah, we can spot them for you in the room. But anyway, many thanks to the three of you and the four of you to explain a little bit what you're doing and why it's important. We thought with Alain it was important to have different actors, obviously. So we have a small company, we have a patient association, we have the EIB with us, because at the end of the day, it's all about working together. So I don't know if there are any questions, or we have plenty of questions.
Yes, but do you have any question? So maybe I will start. I would like Mia to ask you a question. As a medical doctor, what is important for me is to make the right diagnosis, to choose the right treatment, and to secure the adherence of the treatment, primarily in chronic diseases like diabetes or cardiovascular diseases or cancer. What is interesting, I think, is the fact that you are at the same time a patient and an MD. So how do you perceive this, and how do you think it can be possible to reach the goal of securing the treatment adherence without impacting negatively the quality of life?
Okay, so thank you, Alain. This is a brilliant question. So my answer would be, as a medic, you're actually taught to think of the body in a very scientific, non-humane way. So you leave the personality on the side, but you look at the science. And often not, when you treat very complex diseases, you're very focused on the symptomatic pathophysiologic approach. but you forget you might forget the humane side. It's not on purpose. It's just that at the moment there's no room to think of the human side of the patient. But as a patient, you really want to be recognized as a person, and that your disease doesn't define you as a person. It's just a part of your story kind of thing. So you have to have the balance of the quality of life, but also the humane side of treatment. And I can vouch for both, because I am a medical student, and I was a medical student, and I'm a medic by training, and I am a patient living with type 1 diabetes, so I live with both. And so that's why I said in the introduction, understanding and knowledge gives power to better care for patients. So we need to be putting in the work to better educate the patients, so that the patient can actually understand how their treatment is going, and make a conjoined decision with their physician and their medical team. But this doesn't come easy. This doesn't come at no cost. So this is a new approach, and this is something that all of us are working towards: the industry, the association members, the clinicians, the patients, and the EU. So I really see a bright future ahead of us, but it's a lot of work. But we're here to work, and we're here to put in the effort, and we're here to get results. So knowledge is power, and I think that's where everything kind of stems from.
I add something, Mia. I think that it's true that we educate patients, but many times we learn so much about the patients. They educate us. When you are not patient of that disease, luckily, but we are all patients of other diseases, but you learn a lot about the patients. The only thing is that we need to find the framework of how to learn from them, okay? Gate to Brain was born as you find a name, Gate to Brain, but then we decided to find a tagline that it's medicines beyond barriers, which sometimes is more important, the medicines beyond barriers than Gate to Brain, okay? And we said, okay, there are barriers, and I think that to put these barriers down is where the families and patients have helped us more. For example, they say, okay, we want that the clinical trial has low barriers of inclusivity in terms of language, or if these kids there have any kind of disability, and this, maybe we will never figure out that, or yes, but it's the families, that you then say, oh, yes, and then how you manage if you have a kid that doesn't understand what he's going to go through, how we ensure that he will understand. So we learn a lot about our families and patients always.
You know how they say that proper knowledge and proper education comes from the ability to explain it to a child? So if the child actually understands it, then you yourself understand it, and everybody around you understands it. So the power is in the understanding part. Everybody can throw in big fancy words that are in the sciences, but the power comes from the understanding, and everybody else. For you to be able to actually pass along your knowledge and the patient, it has to be a conjoined effort. One doesn't work without the other. Patient care, we have learned from data, and we have learned from studies and feedbacks. If the patient is unhappy or confused, the patient outcome is actually quite decreased. So we cannot ignore that fact. So it has to be a conjoined effort, and the respect has to be to the clinician also, and the medical team. So it's all together.
Together. And Cristina, maybe because you're also here to join the conversation from EIB, obviously you explained, so now you take way more into consideration the role of patients. How does that fit with the companies or institutions that come to you? And do you see that it's gonna, I think it's a non-stop curve of improving this connection, but what do you think on a very practical side?
Yeah, I think that it is a learning curve, and we saw now that even at the European level, the new European pharmaceutical legislation is putting availability and affordability, but availability at the core of the policies and in our investment as well, so that we should follow that the companies and our portfolio companies are putting in place and are helped with the right structure and with the right financing, not only to develop so that we can take the risk, but also all the market access, all the campaigns of information of patients that makes the new drugs, the new diagnostic available to patients across Europe, that there is no border of pricing or of other, let's say, lack of information or education. And we try also to stay in touch with our portfolio companies to see how their products achieve European coverage and why not beyond. So it's a continuous process which goes beyond investments and development, what we are, let's say, focused currently.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, maybe because we only have 3 minutes left, but maybe just ask Meritxell, do you have, because here there's an audience obviously of companies and VCs, you're an example of a CEO and co-founder that actually has taken very seriously patient engagement from the very beginning. What would you say in a minute to convince them to do so too?
I think it's a way to, in fact, de-risk the success. So really having this image, no? Like, if you know that in the same manner that the medical doctors are involved, no? Because at the end you need to reach the market and to be a product that someone feels that it's a value for the patients. In the same manner, on the path, I think the enrollment of the patients or patients associations or families, it's the risking of the process. There are more successes, but at the end we end up with something that really impact, and how impact means business at the end, no? So I think it's not something nice to have. I think it's really an opportunity. Sometimes it's not so easy, no? Because it's more tough to approach a family than also family associations than not to approach, especially if you are dealing with something very sensitive. But I think it's part of our duty as scientists or as CEOs or as co-founders to approach the families. You can do that through different initiatives, no? Like through the hospitals. It's true that we are a spin-off of St. Joan de Déu Pediatric Hospital here in Barcelona. So somehow the machinery of where to give the voices to the families is somehow organized. So it's not sending emails, okay? But it's something that even from the VC point of view, I think it's a plus.
Okay, thanks a lot. Alain, before we close, do you want to say anything?
We have still 1 minute. We would be happy to have a question from the audience. Thank you.
A quick question, but a long topic, and it's to you, Maya. When you talk about prevention, do you also include diagnostic, and how the patient association would be implicated into the diagnostic of patient, pre-diagnostic, so that we are able to actually to give the patient the right treatment at the right time for diabetes, for example, but also cardiovascular disease?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have prevention programs that are actually being made at the moment. You have old versions of prevention programs and protocols that are in place but need a lot of work. And these are definitely, this is the way forward, this is the future. So from prevention comes better treatment options, I would say, because you're able to catch things before they actually happen and kind of be a more proactive version of treatment rather than a reactive version, which has proven that comes with its price in terms of health. So we have a lot of, in diabetes, we definitely have a big rate of complications, and this comes from lack of prevention and the lack of not introducing the treatment at a right point. So yes, definitely, this is something we definitely have room to work with, but things are being improved.
Many thanks. Should I conclude then? because I see
Time is out.
the big red lights. So we will conclude then. So first of all, I would like to thank all the speakers in this panel. Thank you for putting patient engagement, not just a last thing that would be cool to have, but something that actually works and is needed and means an opportunity. And I thank Meritxell for that sentence, because it really has to be in the process when you develop a project, being biotech, medtech, and so on. I just wanted also to inform you that, with Alain, we work with the whole team. That is a great team, by the way, for a health tech for patients. So that's small addition of this big event that you are here today and tomorrow. Normally in May we have those sessions, and next year we're actually looking to think maybe about some neurosciences, mental health, new topics, just throwing that so you follow us and you listen to the sessions in next May. Thanks a lot again. Alain, do you want to add anything?
Yes, just one comment, briefly. We are in the Health Tech Innovation Days. And I think the definition of innovation is not always easy. And we realize through this type of session, through the discussion we have with you as a patient representative, that in fact innovation is where progresses are needed. And it's not always, because this is something which is very frequent. Innovation means high-level science. No, not necessarily. It's answering the needs, and with a disruptive approach.
Thank you very much, everyone.